Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for being a part of this very special presentation, and something that we certainly hope that this is year two, and it will be year two of a long series of special days around this time of year every year. And that is when we make the annual announcement for the teams of the 2012 El Toro Bowl. And this year, it is a best-of-3 series that will take 42 years to complete by the time the game is finished on December the 1st. And that's just a little bit of a teaser. I'm not going to give away all the details. I'm going to let the esteemed panel that is in front of you do some of that. And I want to introduce those people, and going to have some people talk more about them. But first of all, to my left is our athletic director here at Arizona Western College, Mr. Jerry Smith. The co-chairman next to him of the El Toro Bowl from the Caballeros de Yuma, Mr. Dave McDowell. The head football coach here at Arizona Western College, Mr. Tom MINNICK. The El Presidente this year of the Caballeros de Yuma, Mr. Jeff Kamen. Member of the Caballeros de Yuma, member of the District Governing Board, a member of the El Toro Foundation Board, a proud MAA member. I believe he sings in the church choir as well, Mr. Dennis Booth. The vice chairman of the El Toro Bowl for the Caballeros de Yuma, Mr. Jonathan Lines. And representing our proud title sponsors from the Alexander Automotive Group, Mr. Everett Dawson and Mr. Dave Lehman. Why don't you give them all a round of applause. So without further ado, it's time to unveil who will be participating in just 18 days from now at the 2012 El Toro Bowl, proudly presented by Alexander Automotive Group. So without further ado, our athletic director here at Arizona Western College, put your hands together for Mr. Jerry Smith.
Thank you so much. I want to thank each of you for coming and making this a special day for Arizona Western College, for the Matador Athletic Association, and the Caballeros de Yuma. I'd be remiss to say how important it is, the relationship we formed some almost 2.5 years ago with the Caballeros de Yuma, and the job that they've done in organization and planning and in making this bowl game the success that it was last year and that we planned for it to be this year. Also, I want to extend to Everett and to David a special thanks for being here, and a special message to Ryan for their participation and their support in making the El Toro Bowl the success that it's going to be in about almost 3 weeks from now. So I want to tell you that there's a lot of excitement in the air. I actually, about 10 days ago, I asked Jim to kind of send out a feeler with the El Toro Bowl, just with some information about the bowl, about all the events and activity, about all the sponsors that's involved with the El Toro Bowl. And we sent it to 19 of the top 20 teams in the nation. 18, I guess. We didn't send it to ourselves. So we sent it to 18. The only team we left out was East Mississippi by mistake. I don't know what happened. But we had several responses back. Obviously, a lot of interest in the bowl game. And on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Our time, I received a call, and I was still in bed asleep. My phone started ringing, and it startled me, and I jumped up, and I grabbed the phone, and I looked at it, and it said, Ithaca, New York. I can imagine who in the world could be calling me from Ithaca, New York at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So I answered the phone, and the voice on the other end said, Jerry, this is Curtis Gilliam from Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York. And we got your information about the El Toro Bowl, and we want to come. And so I began to talk to him and to tell him about the bowl game and about the experience that we had last year and about the program package that we have for the teams coming in. He said, we've already looked at it. We already know all that stuff. We want to come. And I said, well, let me talk to some of my committee members and our head football coach, and let me call you back before end of day today. So we had some discussions on Sunday about Nassau Community College. Going into the last weekend, they were number 5 in the nation They were playing the number 3 team in the nation in the championship game for their conference in the Northeast. They were defeated on Saturday night, 30-29, on a 37-yard field goal with 7 or 9 seconds left in the game. So he said, we've explored, and this is where we want to come. We want to come to some warm climate, and we want to be partners with you in the Toro Bowl. So I called them back, their athletic director, on Monday morning as soon as I got to work, and had a conversation with him, and he said, we want to come. So we have extended the contract to Nassau Community College. They finished the season 9-1. Their final ranking is 6th in the country. Our final ranking is 12th. I certainly think as we talk to the committee members and of the Caballeros and to Coach MINNICK and to Jim and I, we certainly wanted to play the highest ranked team that we could get. Just to give you a little rundown, I talked to the national office some today. The national championship game is going to be in Iowa. It's going to be Iowa Western and Butler. There's a bowl game, a brand new bowl game in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. That's going to be the number 3 team, ASA, which defeated Nassau last Saturday, 30-29. And they're going to play Snow College, who defeated us last Saturday, 40-26. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are all spoken for in those bowl games. In Iowa at the Graphic Edge Bowl, and then at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, is ASA and Snow College. So I think it was our best opportunity to get the best ranked team we could get to come to Yuma, which will give us the best opportunity to move up in the final poll rankings when we defeat them on December the 1st here at the Toro Bowl. I think we're extremely excited. Coach MINNICK's excited, and I'm excited, and I think all of our committee, bowl committee, is excited being able to extend an invitation to the number 6 ranked team in the nation and to have them in here. We've already seen a little bit of ticket sale today. Some people's been into Cindy's office today and purchasing tickets. Sam's been sharing some information on people buying tickets online for the Toro Bowl, and we feel like that after we announce this today, that ticket sales will start going again as we prepare for the game on December the 1st. I've had several conversations with Nassau today. They plan to fly into Phoenix on Wednesday, spend the night in Phoenix. We'll pick them up on Thursday morning, get them to the Holiday Inn Express sometime right after lunch on Thursday. We expect to have a welcome committee there to welcome them to Yuma. I also spoke with their president, or acting president, today, and he's excited about the team coming, as well as their athletic director, Mike Policia. So we're excited to make the announcement of Nassau. We think that we secured the best team possible that could play in the 2012 El Toro Bowl on December the 1st at 1 o'clock p.m. at Veterans Memorial Stadium. As Jim had mentioned, this will be the rubber game between the two. They traveled to Arizona Western in 1970, and Arizona Western traveled to New York to play them in 1998. And several of you in the room actually made the trip to New York, and they really treated our contingency to a grand tour and a grand time while they were in New York. And I assured the football coach and the athletic director and the president that while they're in Yuma, our people certainly will show them a good time while they're here. Our plans are to have kind of the same format we had last year. We'll have a coach's reception on Thursday night. We'll have a wives' luncheon on Friday at noon. We'll have the community event on Friday morning, Friday afternoon. The bowl banquet, we'd like to encourage you all to attend the bowl banquet on Friday night here in the 3C building at Arizona Western, and then obviously get your tickets for the bowl game on Saturday, December the 1st. So thank you for coming today. We appreciate your interest in the bowl game, and we hope to have a great event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Well, as we said around this time last year, it was 18 months of extremely arduous but very satisfying work to make the 2011 El Toro Bowl reality. And this was another hard year of work, but very satisfying work to be able to make this a reality, especially to have a matchup between the two of the top 12 teams in the nation. And this has been an incredible three-pronged partnership over the last 2.5 years between Arizona Western College, between the Matador Athletic Association, and between the representatives that I'm about to introduce to you now. As you can tell, they are well represented on this podium. They are well represented here in the audience, and they will be well represented by the man who has been the El Presidente for them for this past year. Will you welcome, please, Mr. Jeff Kamen.
Thank you all for coming out today. Like everybody has said, the partnership that we've had between the Matador Athletic Association and AWC and the Caballeros has really just been super smooth, and now we can add that on this year with the Alexander Automotive Group, who's really come on board and helped us out a bunch. The event this year is going to be just as good or better than last year's. We've got a lot of great things going to go on again. We've got the flyovers. We've got special parachute people dropping in this year. Alexander Automotive Group is hoping to give away a car with an easy field goal or something this year. So you need to go get signed up at Alexander Automotive Group if you want to win that car this year. Ticket sales are going good, but something that we've stepped up this year is we have assigned seating throughout the whole stadium. So there's not going to be a bad seat in the house. You get your ticket now. You can pick your seat where you want to be, and anytime you want to leave during the game, hey, your seat's going to be saved this year. So it's going to be a lot better setup that we've got going on this year. Other events that we've got going on, we've got some great bands going to be playing before and halftime. We've got all kinds of great things that are going to be happening before with the athletic football camp. They're going to be doing some stuff beforehand. So it's going to be a great game. If you don't get your tickets now, you're going to be missing out. So I had a cousin come to the game last year, and he's like, I've been to pro games that weren't as well sponsored and put together as this game. So if you don't go to this game, you guys are missing out. I'd like to thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you, Jeff. In fact, I'll echo that last sentiment, because the season opener to the National Football League's 2012 season was in New York, and they broadcast the national anthem complete with a flyover, which was not nearly as well timed as the flyover that we had on December 3rd last year. And I even texted most of the bowl committee members, and they all said, yep, we saw it, you're right, they screwed up. Speaking of the bowl committee, I would like for all of you to kind of take a look around this room, because they're not hard to find. The members of the bowl committee are all wearing blue, although some of them are wearing their Caballero red. But these are the people that have really been the brain trust and been the inspiration for each other to be able to make this come to fruition today. And I think every member of the bowl committee, deserves a round of applause. And I noticed somebody just sat down who was wearing blue, and Laurel Adair, who is the the administrative secretary to the president here at Arizona Western College, Dr. Glenn Maley, who unfortunately could not be here but sends his best regards. And Laurel, I just want to say that that's a lovely outfit, but since it's blue and orange, you are no longer allowed to wear those colors between now and December 2nd. You have now been warned that you will become a piñata if you continue to do that, but thank you, Laurel. One last person that I want to bring up to the podium, and it's certainly bearing the lead, because this is the guy who's going to have to do all the dirty work when 1 o'clock rolls around on Saturday, December 1st. This is a guy who, in the span of 4 years, has led the Matadors to a 4-year win total that equals the finest 4-year win total we have ever had here at Arizona Western College. And with one more win, he will not only secure his 4th consecutive season of 8 wins or more, he will also break that 4-year mark of most wins in that short of a time span. He is completing his 5th year at the helm of the AWC football program with the 2012 El Toro Bowl presented by Alexander Automotive Group. I'm bringing to the microphones Mr. Tom Minnick.
Thanks, Jim. First of all, I want to thank all the sponsors, especially Alexander Ford, for all your support. We did buy our Ford Flex from you, so that was a great thing. It's a great. I forgot. It is hers. I appreciate all your support for helping sponsor this bowl and all the sponsors out there. There's plenty of them out there. Jerry's all happy about playing Nassau. I don't know if I am. After watching them on film today, they're a pretty good football team. We got our work cut out for us. It is going to be a good game. It'll be a competitive game, and we'll have to show up ready to play and get after them a little bit. But they're a good football team. You know, I remember playing them when we were at DuPage when I was coaching there, and they whipped the crap out of us when we were there. So they got some athletes, got some kids that can play, and it'll be a tough game. So I also want to say that I'm going to have JoJo loosen up my leg and everything because I did kick in high school. And at halftime, instead of addressing the team, I'm going to be out there kicking the field goal to win a new car. So.
Are you volunteering?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but other than that, like I said, I like to thank everybody for their support, especially for the athletic programs. I mean, it's just not football. It's our whole athletic department and helping all the sports out and stuff. I know every coach here appreciates the support we have here, and it's all about our community members and our MAA members and our support we have around this community that helps the athletic programs, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Before we kind of give a rundown of what's going to transpire over that great 3-day period for El Toro Bowl weekend, I want to bring Jerry Smith back up for a couple more announcements.
I just wanted to be sure we recognize the rest of our sponsors. Obviously, Everett and David know how pleased we are of them being the title sponsor for the game. I want to also encourage you to tell all your friends and need to get to one of the dealerships. You can sign up once at each dealership. You can go into the dealership and sign up for the drawing, which will be November, 23rd is the drawing?
It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, they're going to draw the name of the person who's going to be able to kick for the new car. They're also going to have some new cars on display. It'll be Ford, Toyota, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Scion, Lincolns. I mean, they got them all down on 32nd Street. And so go into the dealership, get your name in the hat, tell all your friends to go in and get a name in the hat to be picked for the drawing, because Everett and David's going to do everything they can to give a new car away on at halftime on December the 1st. Also, I think you already know, but I want to recognize anyway, Holiday Inn Yuma, Holiday Inn Express, Paul, Gina, and Frank. Frank represents not only the Holiday Inn Express, but also Innkeepers Association, all sponsors for the game. The teams will be staying at the Holiday Inn Express. Some of the other members coming in will be staying at some of the other properties for Holiday Inn. Sign Pro, Dell Outdoor of Yuma's provided all the signage for us. Billboards done a great job of billboards all across the county. Great job with banners all over the stadium there. Paul's built the tents for us that we put in the banquet hall. Put the flags across the top of the stadium. So Sign Pro, Yuma, and Dell Outdoor has been a great sponsor. Terry Friedland with First Bank Yuma. They've been the bank. That's the way Terry likes to say. Jim sometimes forgets, but they're the bank. Retta's here. She represented at the beginning of the year. She helped us with Sam's Club and Walmart sponsor. They're a big sponsor for us again, Sam's Club and Walmart. Obviously, KYMA has been one of our big sponsors in providing advertisement for us, as has the Yuma Sun, been a sponsor to provide advertisement for the game, and also Sodexo, certainly with the banquet that we'll provide. They'll certainly do a good job with the banquet on Friday night for the bowl week. Certainly, the game would not be possible, nor would the excitement that we create throughout the community and throughout the Southwest, and hopefully in New York, as Linda Jordan's going to be sending some stuff up to the New York area to try to create excitement there. As I was talking to their head football coach today, he said, you know, we're going to send a notice out to 25,000 alumni association members from Nassau Community College, as well as all their faculty and staff. They're expecting to have a nice entourage of people travel with them to Yuma, to the desert Southwest, to get a little dose of the sunniest city in the world. So they're obviously going to put that out to all their people, and we expect to have some crowd from them. So I just wanted to be sure that we recognize the people who's made the game possible for us.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And Nassau is also going to be able, those that don't make the trip are going to be able to get a taste of how we can broadcast the game to them, courtesy of Eldorado Broadcasters. And Russ Clark right now is here representing them, as well as the Caballeros. And, of course, right next to him is Travis Mitchell from AWC TV Services. They're going to get to see it, they're going to get to hear it, and they're going to get to enjoy what we certainly hope will be a AWC butt-kicking of Nassau Community College. One of the great things that can't be minimized about this is the fact that all of the proceeds from this game, they go right back into education and to the community, because the three-pronged effort of the Caballeros de Yuma, Arizona Western College, and the Matador Athletic Association, they provide opportunities all over the place, all through the Yuma community, all through Arizona Western College, all through Matador Athletics, and through the AWC Foundation, and they are well represented here today because I wore it after Saturday night with the esteemed Daniel Fouth standing at the 50-yard line and being largely ignored by the PA announcer, who was me. Dan, we love you, Dan. But the opportunities that are created by the revenue generated from this bowl game cannot be minimized, and we are certainly appreciative of the great sponsor support and the great fan support that we have gotten last year and already this year. So it begins on Thursday night. We'll have a press conference that will happen at the Holiday Inn Express. We'll also have a coaches reception that night. And then Friday morning and afternoon, it was, as was mentioned, it's proudly brought to you by Arizona Public Service. The two teams will participate in a great community service event that will include the Gaston Elementary Marching Band, as well as appearances by each team at a couple of schools in our Yuma County area. And then Friday night, we'll have the great bowl banquet that John Giesler and the good folks here at Sodexo put on a great spread. And if you haven't gotten your bowl banquets tickets yet, you can at the AWC Athletic office. You can also get them at the Caballeros de Yuma office downtown. And, of course, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for the 2012 El Toro Bowl presented by Alexander Automotive Group, there's one of 4 different websites that you can get it on. You can get it on eltorobowl.com, BillAlexanderFord.com, MyAlexanderToyota.com, and FlightlineMazda.com. And if you haven't signed up for the car, Everett's quite upset because they're having a competition right now between the Ford dealership, the Toyota dealership, and Flightline Mazda as to who's going to get the most entries. And right now, Everett is upset. So please help Everett. Go in and take care of him. He wants that love so much. So now is the time for you. If you have questions, we will provide answers. That's what these microphones are here. If you have any questions for any of the members of this esteemed panel, just raise your hand, head over to that podium so that way all of the video people can get a shot of you, and ask away. Any questions? Yes? You do? Yes, you do.
I guess this is either for Jerry or Tom. Are you guys kind of surprised at the level of opponent you brought in? Because I know when I was talking with Coach Minnick, you were kind of expecting like a DuPage or that level of team, or like ASA only if you guys won. This kind of bringing in the number 6 team is kind of a surprise, and are you looking forward to playing a team that good?
Well, I don't really care who they bring in. I mean, we always want the best team. I mean, I'll play anybody, but it's a great opportunity to play somebody ahead of us instead of playing somebody behind us. And if we win, we'll be in the top 10, which I think 4 consecutive years in the top 10. I mean, that's saying something. I mean, we got to take care of business, but I'm always I'm a competitor. I don't want to play anybody below us or anybody that's not any good. I like playing Snow. I like playing Glendale. I like playing Eastern. You know, and then some of the other teams in the conference, you just kind of sometimes you go through the motions because you know you should beat them. I mean, yeah, you still get beat by them, but you want to play good football teams and see how good you are. You know, in my former place, I always wanted to go somewhere and play somebody because you got sick and tired of playing the teams in your conference. I want to see how good we are. Each and every year, you know, we played East Mississippi twice. We're a good football team. I mean, we do a good job recruiting, getting kids in here that can play. We can play at that level each and every year, and yeah, we've lost 2. We've had a lot of injuries. A lot of people don't know that. We've lost, you know, 3 kids after the first game to broken legs, 3 starters. And in the last couple games we've lost, we haven't had, you know, Devonta Henry, an outside linebacker, a safety. So, I mean, I'm not making excuses, but, you know, we'll get 2 of those guys back, and the kids with the broken legs aren't coming back, but we just got to do what we got to do, you know, and I'd rather play somebody good. I mean, I'd play Iowa Western if we could. I mean, we're not scared of anybody. And it's the competitor in me that wants to play somebody good. So I hope that answers it.
Yeah, we're extremely pleased, Eddie, to get them. I mean, I talked to Mississippi an hour ago. They're still searching for a team. At the Hot Bowl in Texas, they're going to have somebody much lower. They're going to have the number 4 team in the nation playing a much lower team at the Hot Bowl in Texas. The Brazo Bowl is going to have Kilgore, who's rated down. So we feel fortunate to reach out and to have Nassau coming to Yuma. And I think it's strictly because of the reputation of the outstanding program that we put on last year. Obviously, the weather is certainly a big factor, and we knew that when we started the bowl games, when we were playing football in December, that people are going to be wanting to come to Yuma instead of go to New York or go to northern Kansas to play in the snow bill. So we do feel fortunate to have reached out and got the number 6 team in the nation when other bowls all across the nation are reaching out, struggling to get people to come.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
This question is aimed for you, Coach Tom. In regards to playing such a highly ranked Eastern opponent, do you look at this game as big-time recruiting potential to expand, you know, the recruiting that you currently have and kind of focus a little bit more on the East Coast as well, or do you look at it that way?
I mean, when you're playing a bowl game, you're going to get good recruits anyway, you know, because you can sell that you've been in, you know, 4 consecutive bowl games, finished in top 10, and it always helps recruiting, you know. And will we get kids from the East? I mean, I tell you what, Damian Williams at Oklahoma, we've got so many Oklahoma kids we're looking at now just because of Damian Williams. They all know about him and where he went. So it's more about our kids going on and being recognized at the 4-year schools that we, you know, get a lot of, you know, inquiries about coming here to play at Arizona Western. And we got kids playing all across the country, which is unbelievable. And we'll have maybe a first rounder this year, and Jesse and Jason. Jason, what's his name? Weaver. He's at Southern Miss playing offensive tackle. He'll probably get drafted too in the later round. So I mean, we're. I mean, all that helps recruiting. So I mean, you know, playing Nassau will help. You know, I mean, people get to see it. It's going to be, you know, streamed and everything like that back east. So if a kid's interested, you know, you might call and inquire about playing here.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Playing on Sundays, that is certainly the term, and that's certainly what all of the kids are striving for. They obviously want to get an education first, but to be able to play on Sundays in the National Football League, and Tom Minnick knows all about that because he has coached plenty of kids to the NFL. As a matter of fact, the Saints-Colts Super Bowl had a starting member on each team that had been coached by Tom Minnick, so that's pretty impressive. Other questions? One-on-ones will be available if you would like it, Rob, if you would like it, Eddie. And we thank you all very much for coming. Jeff Harris, is there anything you would like to add? Jeff Harris from Monster Media, another great sponsor here, and another great sponsor here for the El Toro Bowl. And again, we thank all of you for the support that you have provided, and not just financial support, but the positive spokesmanship that everybody in this room has provided to be able to make this so successful. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you December 1st.